Can you find us, Jose Monkey?
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This was a tough one, guys. This person gives us what sounds like a pretty big clue, but it actually doesn't narrow it down as much as you might think. So what can we see? Our friend here and their very good dog ask to be found and then show us their surroundings. Listen to this clue that this person gives us.
One thing I will say is we are at the border of 2 states, somewhere in New England.
They also went on to say this.
I'm trying to make this as straight as possible.
And incidentally, I thought that was kind of funny because I'm trying to make this as straight as possible is coincidentally the name of Chad's memoir. All right, we'll see who's laughing when I'm on the New York Times bestseller list, though. And I sincerely hope that happens for you, buddy. Okay, so this person's video is kind of long, but it doesn't actually show us too many things. We've got the water, possibly a lake or river. We can also see this parking lot, and in the lot, I saw that there were many trucks parked here, and many of them had boat trailers attached to them. I'll come back to that. We can see that there's a road here and possibly a bridge. I also saw this sign at the entrance to this parking lot, but I could not really read it. And then as they turn the camera, we can see what looks like kind of a concrete pad or something here near the trees. They continue turning the camera, and they mostly show us all the same stuff that we've seen already. Also, their video ends with this somewhat awkward but very endearing apology.
Find us. Sorry, we went swimming.
Now, at first, I wasn't even sure what they were apologizing for, but I think it's the fact that their clothes were all wet. Anyway, no apology necessary, but I love this part because in my family, we have a particular appreciation for completely unnecessary but sincere apologies. In fact, we have a special word for it in my family, which I'll tell you guys about if you want to hear about it. Let me know. Okay, so this person told us that this was at the border of 2 New England states. New England is, of course, a region of the northeastern U.S., comprising 6 states: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And there are several borders between these states, totaling almost 700 miles. Now, I knew I didn't need to check every single mile of those borders. I could skip any parts that didn't have a body of water nearby. Incidentally, that ruled out most of the Massachusetts border. But I also remembered that in the parking lot we had the trucks with boat trailers, but no boats. That told me that this was probably a boat launch. So I figured that could help narrow the search as well. Now, I will say that I had a moment when I wondered if the person saying they were trying to keep it as straight as possible was a possible clue. Like, I thought maybe it was a play on words, and they were saying the word straight because maybe it was near a strait, like a passage of water between 2 larger bodies of water. But as far as I could recall, I didn't think there were any straits in between different states in New England. But just for the heck of it, I decided to look into it. And honestly, the only reason I mention it is because when I did that, Google's AI results told me the most ridiculous made-up things. Seriously, every time I asked the question, it would give me a different answer. Each time telling me about a different strait between 2 different states, and each time claiming that it was the only strait between 2 New England states. But as far as I can tell, none of those places actually exist. So to the people who are always asking, couldn't I just use ChatGPT or something for these searches, I think I'm going to stick to using my brain. Okay, so initially I thought maybe this was the Connecticut River, which forms the vast majority of the border between Vermont and New Hampshire. And that's a pretty long border, like 170 miles. But I found a map of all the places where there are boat launches along the Connecticut River. I ignored the ones in Massachusetts since they were not on the border with another state. And guys, I looked at pretty much every boat launch on the Connecticut River in between New Hampshire and Vermont. I did that for a really long time, and I didn't find this place that way, but I'm not even mad. Because frankly, the Connecticut River is one of the more beautiful places that I've had the pleasure of virtually exploring during one of these searches. Okay, but natural beauty aside, I did not find this place there. So I started checking different boat launches that I found along the borders of other states in New England. And I looked for a while, but as soon as I saw this place, I knew that it was right. Mostly based on this concrete pad that we see near the tree line. And guys, that was it. You were here, near the Beach Pond State Boat Ramp in Exeter, Rhode Island. So as it turns out, this was a pond and not a river, and it is between Rhode Island and Connecticut. I was able to use Google Street View to confirm the location. Here's that sign that we see at the entrance to the parking lot, and here's one of those houses that we see across the pond in the video. This Street View photo shows us the place where you were standing, right over here. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. This is only the 3rd place that I found in Rhode Island, but given how close it is to the Connecticut border, it is perhaps unsurprising that the closest previous location was actually in Norwich, Connecticut, in Season 1, Episode 73. That's about 16 miles or 25 kilometers away from this spot. Guys, don't forget, if you're over here, you might want to think about going over here, just in case something happens to this place. Check out the map of all the places I've found for you guys so far, and if anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.